There are currently a lot of worries about wireless security. Standard networks at home or at work are based on physical connectivity. There is a network interface card that plugs into a personal computer that has a network cable plugged into it. You plug the other end into a hub or switch and you are on the LAN. Then you get an IP address and you are ready to go. With wireless, there is no physical connection. Wireless access points are in fact radio transmitters. They use radio waves that can go through walls and buildings. This makes connecting to a local network in your home or place of employment very versatile and gets you off those cables lying on the floor. The downside is that connecting to your network as an intruder is a lot easier. Security considerations now have to be taken to prevent unauthorized access to your network and data. So, if you do not take precautions, passers-by with the right equipment and tools can hijack a connection on your LAN and off they go. To prevent such situations, wireless vendors have implemented different levels of security in configuring a wireless access point, which we will cover in the next moments. To start, securing these devices, there are 3 sections that need to be addressed. The first section will describe the service set identifier. Secondly, we will talk about MAC address filtering, and then we will go into wired equivalent privacy and the encryption feature that this will enable. The last section we will talk about is the next generation security for wireless, Wi-Fi protected access, and its variants of implementation. Hopefully, this will address all security questions that you might have related to securing a configuration of wireless access points. Number 1, SSID. The SSID, Service Set Identifier, is a 1 to 32 alphanumeric character string that is used to identify membership to an access point in a wireless network. An access point is a wireless device, also known as a base station, which will accept wireless communications from a wireless device, such as a laptop, with a wireless network interface card. The AP acts as the link between the wireless network and the hardwired local area network. All wireless devices that want to communicate on the WLAN need to have their SSID set to the same string as the AP. This string, SSID, is also referred to as the network name. Some of the well-known wireless vendors ship their products with default SSID names. Because this string is broadcasted in clear on every packet header of every wireless packet, this makes it easy for someone from outside to identify the brand and even model of your wireless device, a hacking technique called packet sniffing. If you came on this video from the other side or simply want to extend your knowledge, the tools we are referring to are the ones like AirSnort and NetStumbler. Therefore, if we are to secure our wireless network, we will want to disable the SSID broadcast feature on the access point. This will be the first safety measure that we will take to secure our access point. So how do we do that? You can modify the SSID inside the wireless router interface. For that, open up a browser window and log into your wireless router platform, usually 192.168.1.1 with your administrative credentials. Then navigate to Setup and fill in your choice of name for the SSID. Furthermore, your wireless interface should have the option of enabling or disabling the broadcast of SSID, so you can set that as well. Before continuing, please make a connection test with any of your devices to see if they still retain the information about your network even when the SSID is masked. If all is fine, you're ready to go and you have set up enough basic security to get you going. If you want to set a higher level of security, proceed to the next section about MAC address filtering. So we can identify our access points by the SSID, but how can we uniquely identify our wireless clients? Here's how. Every device that connects to a network has a unique hardware address called MAC address from Media Access Control. This address is a 48-bit address expressed as 12 hexadecimal digits. For now, it is enough to know that we can restrict the access to our access point by restricting the MAC addresses that can be allowed to enter. Here's how to do it. You have to log in again into your router via a web browser using your credentials. Once you are logged in, select wireless, then MAC filtering. As you can see, this is a two-way method. You can either choose which MAC addresses you want to be part of your network or which ones you are sure you don't. Select the filtering rule as allow or deny by clicking the appropriate button. Click Add New button and add any and all MAC addresses that you want to take part in your wireless network, or the ones that you want to exclude if you selected Deny earlier. The last step, you'll have to enable MAC addresses filtering by clicking the Enable button on the top of the page. Once you do this, your wireless device will restart and run with the new rules that you have implemented. But how do we know a MAC address? On a Windows computer, launch a DOS box, which is the equivalent of a terminal window. On the command prompt, type ipconfig/all and hit enter. The Windows operating system replies with a set of information, including the MAC address of your network card. Use this system to collect all the MAC addresses you want to include in your access point, or ask the people who want to join it to provide it for you. While MAC address filtering is easy to do on small networks, it does not scale well if you have to maintain a large network. Number 3. WEP protocol, or Wired Equivalent Privacy. In this protocol, all members of the wireless network use WEP to encrypt and decrypt communications between their wireless client and the access point. It basically turns clear text data into secret code. The way it does it is by using an encryption key, which can be of 64 or 128-bit length. Again, the key consists of two parts: an initialization vector and a secret key. IV is the most vulnerable here because it has a finite number of possibilities, 16 million combinations. But that's not that much in brute force computing terms, and once someone has your IV, it is a matter of time and trials until they get to your key. The solution is to change this key often enough so no random access algorithm has time to test all the possibilities. What does this mean for you? It means that once you have selected WEP as an encryption method over your wireless, you have to make sure you are also using other security measures, like the ones we described earlier, or you use WEP for a short period of time, or you simply turn to the better wireless communication protocol. The superior encryption protocol that you can employ for the communication of your access point is Wi-Fi Protected Access, or WPA. This has two instances, WPA and WPA2, and it has built in a Temporal Key Integrity Protocol, TKIP, and uses dynamic keys, which fixes the problem we saw earlier in WEP. This means that a hacker would have to cope up in speed of decoding with the release of keys, which are rotated by the protocol, fast enough to make the pursuit impossible. Also, initialization vector number space has been enlarged to 48 bits on this protocol, and there is a two-step authentication process, which involves an authentication server. Basically like having someone trustworthy vouching for you when you want to enter a club. Setting up of a WPA or a WPA2 network is fairly easy, and done in the same manner as for the WEP protocol. Just log into the web interface of your router and select WPA or WPA2 from the drop-down menu. The WPA-PSK format involves a pre-shared key, which can be anything between 8 and 63 characters. Whichever method or set of methods you may choose to secure the access to your access router, remember The time you spend properly configuring the security of your wireless access point is time you're giving yourself off later, when problems will avoid you. Thank you for watching yet another KRAA security tutorial. If you found this information useful, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with your friends.